This is a Sports Catastrophe production.
Hey there, how there, ho there. It's Jeff Cutter down and welcome you to another Sports Catastrophe birthday boy. And the birthday boy on 420 is not Hitler. Thank goodness for that. It's this guy, Don Mattingly, Donnie Baseball, as he is known to the New York Yankee crowd. I know a lot of people say, why are you doing one of the Yankees? You fucking hate the Yankees. Yes, but you know what? Don Mattingly is very underrated. He is actually manager of the Miami Marlins ever since 2016. And he's done a good job with them. So anyway, he's known as Donnie Baseball. He played his entire career with the Yankees. What? Wikipedia is telling me there was a Don Mattingly in Canadian football. Yeah, right. But anyway, he spent his 14-year career with the Yankees and managed the Dodgers for 5 years before managing the Marlins. So basically, he had a good rookie campaign in 1983. He actually emerged as the starting first baseman, named to 6 All-Star teams, 9 Gold Gloves, an AL record still to this day for a first baseman. Wow. The 84 batting title, and the 85 MVP, the year of my birth. He was captain of the Yankees from 91 to 95. The Yankees retired Mattingly's 23. In fact, Mattingly's the only Yankee to have his number retired that didn't win a championship. Too bad he left in 95. If he was even a part-timer for the 2006 Yankees, he definitely would have been... 1996 Yankees. He would have had a title. So anyway, he became a bench coach for the Yankees under Joe Torre, and then followed Torre to the Dodgers in 2008, and would be Dodgers manager after Torre in 2011. The Dodgers parted ways with Mattingly in 2015 and became Marlins manager in 2016. Mattingly is ambidextrous, meaning he can do stuff with both his left and right hands. He was picked in the 19th round of the 1979 Major League Draft. All that. He would go to minor league baseball with the Yankees farm clubs and would play. In his rookie season in 1983, he would be a part-time first baseman outfielder who batted .283 and 279 at-bats. The funny thing is, remember the Pine Tar game with the Royals and the Yankees? Mattingly was instituted into that game because the Yankees ran out of players when they had to resume that Pine Tar game because the spirit of the rules thing by Lee McPhail. If Mattingly had not played in the ninth inning and not have batted, he would have had a 23 game hitting streak. Anyway, strange as it sounded, Mattingly in 1984 basically became the full-time first baseman, and in his first year as being a full-time first baseman, he actually won the batting title. Mattingly on the final day of the campaign went 4 for 5 when Dave Winfield went 1 for 4. So Mattingly beat his teammates for the batting title, which was amazing. He had a league-leading 44 doubles, too. Mattingly followed up his breakout season with a spectacular 1985 campaign, winning the MVP. He ended up third in American League batting, fourth in home runs, but was number 1 in doubles and RBIs, 48 and 145 respectively. It was actually the most RBIs in a season by a left-handed major league batter since Ted Williams in 1949, which was amazing. In fact, yeah, that was pretty good. In fact, the second best RBI producer in 85 was 21 RBIs behind him. That was the most since Al Rosen's 30 RBI difference in 1953. He looked good. Basically, he had good defense. Yankees assigned him to play games at second and third base because of the defense, even though he was left-handed. All that. But in 1986, he did pretty well for himself. He led the league with hits, doubles, and in doing so, his hits and doubles actually broke single-season Yankee record set by Earl Coombs, 231 hits, becoming Mattingly's now for 238, and Gehrig's 52 doubles was broken. And that was in 1927, the legendary Murderers Row. Well, Mattingly had 53 doubles. Strange as it sounded, he should have had the second award. I mean, he should have been the MVP, but Roger Clemens did it. Kind of pathetic, don't you think? In 1987, Don Mattingly had a great season. First of all, he tied Dale Long's record by hitting homers in 8 consecutive games. Of course, the All-Star game was in the middle of the streak, but that didn't count. The All-Star game does not count in that. Ken Griffey Jr. would get 8 straight games with a home run in 1993, which was amazing. Mattingly hit 10 home runs in his 8-game streak. Long and Griffey only hit 1 home run in each of their 8 games. And he set a record with 6 Grand Slams in one season in 1987, which was a record, which was tied by Travis Hafner in 2006. He Grand Slammed against Mike Mason of the Texas Rangers. He Grand Slammed against John Cerruti of my Toronto Blue Jays in that 15-14 shit show that the Blue Jays should have won that one in 1987. Gee, I wonder if the Jays had won that game, what would have happened against the Tigers in the AL East. He hit a Grand Slam against Joe McKeon of the Chicago White Sox. I think that's Jack McKeon's son. He also got a Grand Slam against Texas and Charlie Hood, the famous knuckleballer. Jose Mesa, he got a Grand Slam off when Mesa was a starter and played for Baltimore. And he Grand Slammed against Bruce Hurst of the Bo Sox. Mattingly had some problems. His back issues would flare up in 1990, and after that, he wasn't really the same. Mattingly was hopeful that his Yankees would be in the World Series in '94 in the strike-shortened season because he was doing decently, and the Yankees were the best team in the AL. But stupid player and owner squabbles. The owner's fucking collusion proved me wrong. But anyway, the players' strike ended the season prematurely, and the Yankees were the best team in the American League. It would have been Yankees Expos in the World Series, and who knows, maybe the Yankees would have won the World Series over my dad, Dottie. But anyway, yeah, Expos. I would have loved to see the Expos and Yankees. I did a what-if series, and the Expos beat the Yankees in 5 games. Anyway, Mattingly finally reached the playoffs in '95 when the Yankees won the wild card on the final day of the year against my Blue Jays. Fuck. But the Jays sucked that year. In the only postseason of his career, Mattingly was great. He had 6 RBIs. He hit a go-ahead home run in Game 2 that basically Yankee Stadium shook. But the Mariners came back to force extra innings, and the Yankees won in the 15th inning thanks to Joe Girardi. No, not Joe Girardi. Wasn't Joe Girardi in the 15th inning? No, it was. It had to be someone else. Jim Leyritz. I'm thinking Jim Leyritz. But anyway, yeah. Unfortunately, the Yankees had bad bullpen work, and Mattingly couldn't believe it. The Yankees acquired Tino Martinez from the Mariners. If you can't beat him, join him. Force him to join you to succeed Mattingly first base. Mattingly was unsigned. The Yankees didn't even sign him. Baltimore had a chance to pick him up, but he rebuffed it. And he decided to retire in '97. It's pathetic because, he could have had a World Series ring with the Yankees. Thanks a lot. Even as a part-time player. But anyway, he would be a bench coach for the Yankees. And actually was a finalist for the Yankees manager position. But Joe Girardi got that. Torre moved on to the Dodgers, and Mattingly was made the hitting coach. Mattingly basically was, I don't know that. He was replaced, though, in January 2008, but he did come back to being hitting coach that July and all that. Mattingly finally got his managerial thing in 2011 and all that. He did okay, but in the postseason, they didn't do so well. Well, Mattingly, strange to say, in 2015, he was the first manager in Dodgers history with both Brooklyn and Los Angeles, to lead the team to the playoffs in 3 straight seasons, which is like, holy crap, the Dodgers never did that before. Yeah, but anyway, the Dodgers and Mattingly decided to part ways mutually. He had a decent winning percentage, which is second best in Dodgers history, but the postseason just screwed him over. So he signed a 4-year contract to manage the Marlins. And he helped the Marlins out. He actually would win the NL Manager of the Year. He's the defending NL Manager of the Year because he got the Marlins to the playoffs in 2020 for the first time in 17 years. And yes, finally, the Marlins lost the postseason series. So their first 2 times. So yeah, he wasn't that bad, leading Dodgers to 3 straight NL pennants. But they lost the NLCS to St. Louis, the NLDS to St. Louis, and the NLDS to the Mets. Mattingly is the best Yankee to have never been in a World Series. Well, obviously. I mean, the World Series drought was the longest in Yankees history from 82 to 95 since the Babe Ruth era. So, yeah. Mattingly had a lot of calmness and all that. Mattingly tried his best to get in the Hall of Fame. But basically, by 2009, only 12% of voters put him on the ballots. He's in a couple of minor league Hall of Fames. Personal life. He married Kim Sexton in 1979, and they're divorced. They have 3 sons, Taylor, Preston, and Jordan. Taylor was actually drafted by the Yankees, but he had a lot of injuries. Preston was actually chosen in the supplemental round by the Dodgers. He looked like a decent prospect. Mattingly would remarry in 2010. But anyway. Oh, that's what. Don's older brother, Randy, was drafted by the Cleveland Browns in the 4th round of the 1973 NFL draft, but played in the CFL. Okay, that's kind of strange. Well, everyone remembers him. He was actually in a few Seinfeld episodes by name only. But George was the traveling secretary, assistant, all that. Mattingly would appear in Homer at the Bat, the greatest Simpsons episode of baseball, a sports episode of all time, in my mind. And note, I'm Canadian, so I should be for hockey. No, Homer at the Bat was amazing. Burns repeatedly wanted Mattingly to trim his sideburns, even though Mattingly had no sideburns. And basically, Burns cuts him for the team because he would not trim those sideburns. I guess he thought about all his hair. Mattingly departs and says, "I still like him better than Steinbrenner," which is funny. But yeah, popular culture. Can't beat that. Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond. Adel.